Bump check, bump check, bump check, bump check. My son ended up taking COVID-19 test. And all I kept thinking was, I don't want to go to the hospital because coronavirus is rife. And I don't want to be in a hospital with my baby. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And let's get into it. I wanted to let you know what kind of happened to me over the weekend and how my son ended up taking a COVID-19 test and how horrendous it is. So, like I mentioned, we flew in on the 29th of May, I think it was. Yeah. And everything was fine. And then I think about 6 days after we got here, he started to get temperature in the evening. But I didn't think much of it because if we've been in a country for a long amount of time and we go somewhere and then we got to London and the weather was good, and then after a couple of days it started raining, it was cold, all that kind of stuff, you know, it can take a toll on their bodies. You know, children are very resilient, but you know, it can take a while for their bodies to adjust. So him getting a temperature didn't really freak me out. I thought, okay, it might just be like a viral thing, not COVID, but just like his body just trying to battle some kind of thing, right? And after a while, once you've been through a few of these things, you don't like just quickly call the doctor or whatever. So anyway, I was like, okay, you wait like about 3 days to see if the temperature persists, and then, you know, I'll get in touch with the doctor. So 2 days in, he still has a temperature. But he's eating well and he's playing around and he's just acting like normal, just has a temperature. Then he has a nap, he wakes up, I give him a snack, we're sitting down watching some TV, and he starts saying, oh, mommy, I'm cold, mommy, I'm cold. Oh, I'm itchy, I'm itchy. And I'm like, which one is cold and itchy? This one is me, and this one, I don't know this one, because temperature I can understand, itchy, I don't know. So I was just, I started saying, okay. Right, so I hugged him, I put a blanket around him, and he's like, I'm cold. I was just like, So I started thinking, does this boy have malaria? God forbid. But does he have malaria? Because, you know, you've got a fever, but then you're now shivering and all this kind of stuff. So I was like, hey. And then the itchy thing. But then I was like, it's cold outside. Maybe his skin is dry. Because, you know, I didn't pack anything when I was coming. I literally came with a wheelie bag with some of his stuff. I just didn't bring anything with me. So I was like, because he has a particular cream for eczema, so I was like, like maybe he just has dry skin, and you know, I need to get him the cream or something. I don't even know what I was thinking, but I was a bit freaked out because I was like, okay, these symptoms I don't recognize. Let me just call the doctor to be safe. So I call the NHS and I'm like, yo, this is what's happening with my son, blah 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 blah. This is about 4-something p.m. So we talk, and then they say that a doctor will call me back, and then just to go through it and see if, you know, he's okay, whatever. And all I kept thinking was, I don't want to go to the hospital because coronavirus is rife. And I don't want to be in a hospital with my baby and my new baby that's coming. I don't want to do that. You know, I already had to take a flight that was full with people and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to like put myself in harm's way again. So they said they'll call me at 7:20 p.m. So this is now like 6 o'clock. I now get an email around 6:30. I just checked my mail. Well, my husband had called me, to say that, oh, did you get an email from NHS Track and Trace? And I was like, no, why did I get an email? He was like, oh, because so he knew someone on the flight and they got the email saying that, oh, they need to self-isolate, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, which one is this? Now I check my email. That's addressed to me and one that's addressed to my son. And it now says, oh, we may have been in contact with someone that has coronavirus and we need to, and blah, blah, they've signed up for us and I need to fill in this form and blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's just pause right there. I forgot to explain something. The reason I'm talking about the NHS Track and Trace email that I got and that my husband's friend's wife got, who was on the same flight as us, was that they'd sent the email to everyone on the flight, or so I'm going to assume, because somebody on the flight must have had coronavirus and they sent it to us because you have to, the airline has
your details because it's a repatriation flight. So I know, because I hadn't been anywhere, and I know that that's where I got the NHS track and trace from, that it's actually from a flight and somebody on the plane had coronavirus. Yeah, great. I know, right?
I was just like, on top of all this wala that I'm going through, I now have to deal with this thing as well. So then I started. So before that, I just thought maybe it has malaria or it's just some kind of bug. But at this point, I started thinking, so I now think it's now going to be coronavirus on top. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. Hey, no, it's not possible. No, 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 no. So the doctor finally calls, and then I'm like, okay, well, this is what's happening. I don't know. We've just come back from Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's this, but, whatever. And she goes, okay. She goes, well, what I would do is I would go to A&E. Don't be worried. There's less people in A&E, so it won't be so bad to go to the hospital. Then I now say to her, okay, but I've just received an email that I'm on track and trace thing, and it says self-isolate. So if they think you've been in contact with someone who has COVID, can you go to the hospital? Like, or do you go somewhere else? Or can I even go? Like, what, Then the doctor on the phone says, oh, I don't know anyone that's done track and trace. Oh, God, I don't know. Call back 111 and let them tell you. So I call 111 again and tell them this. And they said, who said that? And I said, the doctor. And they were like, oh, for goodness sakes, because the doctor's supposed to tell me what to do. Anyway, I'd been back and forth. I spoke to like 10 different people. I'd told them the same story. At the end, they now took pity and said, we're really sorry. Just hold on and we'll get it sorted. Then they came back and they said, go to the hospital and tell them we said, get a malaria test for your son and get a COVID test for your son. Only because of the track and trace letter that you received. I said, okay, no problem. It's now past 8 and I proceed to go to the hospital. Hospital will not let you go with anybody. You have to go by yourself. So go to the hospital, drive to the hospital. And so at this point, I have a nanny that's staying with me that was Xander's nanny when I was doing some theatre stuff here. Like when he was 8 months, really, really cool, amazing, helpful person. She was working Monday to Friday, and this was a Saturday. Just so happens that, see how God works, something was going on with the train, so she sent me a message saying that, oh, she was going to come back early, right? So we went to the hospital together. It's just good to have support. And also I couldn't carry him where I'd parked. Everything had just changed. I got to the hospital, but you couldn't go in a certain entrance, so we now had to walk this long way, felt like a 15-minute walk. I don't know how long it is. And so she helped me carry him, and poor thing was just tired and just not feeling great, but still, his usual. Anyway, get to the hospital and they're like, okay, only one person can come in. So obviously I go in. And the good thing is the way they've done it is like, they had these rooms and you go into the rooms. Whereas before in A&E, you're just waiting in an open space with everyone. So went to the room, waited, and obviously it's going to take a while. So nurse came, told her what was going on. Doctor came, told her what was going on, and she was looking at him and she was like, this boy doesn't have malaria. I was like, I know, but let me just make sure. And then she was like, well, I'm not going to do the test because I don't want to aggravate him because we already have to do the COVID test. Fine. So then the doctor said she can't do the COVID test because it's someone who does those tests because she's like an expert at it or whatever. So I said, okay. Then I said, well, I'm supposed to come in tomorrow on Tuesday for my own appointment. But now that I've received this letter, am I supposed to self-isolate till Friday? Because by Friday, it would have been 2 weeks that I would have been back in the country. And she says, oh, well, you know what? Let's just give you a COVID test as well. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. So the lady came to do the test on this boy. No one should go anywhere near anybody that has that thing. Or not take it seriously, because that test is effed. Like, that test is like fucked up. Like, that's all I can say. It's just jacked. They get this long cotton bud looking thing and they shove it up his nose, and I mean shove it up. This boy was screaming. Then they don't let him rest. I was like, oh no, let him relax, please, let him calm down. They now get, those sticks when they try and see the back of your hair, you're like, put it down there, put it to bring his tongue out, and then they shove the thing down his throat. He was like literally like gagging. I was just like, my poor baby. He was so upset. I had to carry him, soothe him. So I was like, oh, okay, what about mine? And then she says, oh, that we asked, you can't do yours here. You're going to have to go to the adult part of the hospital. So I was not like, yeah, okay, no problem. And then she goes, oh yeah, just know that. She goes, oh, it's worse, by the way, it's worse for adults. And I was like, uh-huh, what do you mean? And she said, basically, they go, she goes, oh, it goes really right up your nose, right up there. And she goes, and a lot of people have thrown up when we do the throat one. So she goes, just be careful because you might throw up. I was like, Auntie, ignorance is bliss. I don't need to know. For me, I'd rather not know and let it be done than you tell me how jacked it's going to be, basically. So anyway, so she just saunters off and then we get our stuff and then so I call Xander's nanny to come and meet her because she had to go back to where we're staying because I mean, we were there for like what 2-3 hours because this point is 11 p.m. So I've been there for 3 hours and there's no and she's standing outside because they wouldn't let her in the hospital. So I call her and just say, okay, you know what? I want to go do my test. That she should take my son to the car and then I will just go in quickly do the test and come out. But then I don't even know where. When I get, they wouldn't let me leave through the same entrance. I now get out and it looks like the same place because it said Child's Department and then regular A&E. And then I can see the stairs, which go down the stairs, and then there's like a Marks and Spencer's on the right hand side. So at this point, I have 3% battery. I'm calling her. The service of the hospital is terrible. I'm calling her. I can't get through to her. And I'm like, what is going on? And for me, I'm like, I don't want to take him back into the hospital because how will I look after him while I'm getting a test done and all that kind of stuff? It's now 11 p.m. Calling. Okay, I can't get through to her phone. Trying to WhatsApp call, but you know WhatsApp call rings even if you can't get through to the phone or something weird like that. Anyway. So I'm just like, you know what? I don't think I can take this test today because I don't want to take him back inside to the hospital with all the germs and all the whatever and people that are sick and we don't know what they have and all that kind of stuff. So, so I sent her a message and I'm like, I'm walking to the car. My battery's about to die. Please meet us at the car. I really hope you get this message. So walking with my boy and it's a long walk. We're now going up some hill and then there's now one homeless man that is now behind us that is now making funny noises and I'm just like, what is this? Why? And I'm like, okay, so I'm now about to gonna have to drop kick somebody because you ain't coming near me or my kid, you know. But luckily the man went off somewhere else and literally just as we were getting to the car I turn around and I just see her running up towards us. And I'm like, okay, fine. I guess I'm just going to have to just go home and sit down and self-isolate till Friday, which is in a few days anyway. Or in less than a week. Yeah, so get home and then 2 days later they call and they say he doesn't have COVID. And then 2 days after that, his temperature goes down and it was just a bug. Kids, travel, different environment, different climate. And all is right with the world. So praise God. But God saved me from taking that test. I do not take it for granted. I'm not going to take that test because I ain't going to get this thing because I'm going to take care of myself and I am covered in the blood of Jesus. Okay? So take care of yourselves and each other and please be safe. Speak to you guys later. Bye.